Find out what's going on. Get involved. Change things from the inside. Make a difference. Take pride. Multicultural at its best. The Luisa Marshall Show. Coming up.
Today, all news simply the best. Get involved. Temporary foreign workers allegedly victimized by their employer and their immigration consultant faces uncertainty and their dreams shattered as they struggle to remain in Canada. Temporary foreign worker Honorato Peralta, also known as JR, arrived in Canada in 2009. Then his partner Vanessa Tamondong arrived in June that same year, also under the Temporary Foreign Worker Program. Both work as laundry workers in different cities. JR worked in Calgary and Vanessa in Victoria. Since then, JR and Vanessa got married in 2010 and had a son. After 3 years, Vanessa looked for a job as a food counter attendant that would help her obtain a permanent residency. JR and Vanessa thought they were following the rules. All the rules to get to their dream to live permanently in Canada. But all this shattered last fall when an immigration consultant referred to them by their employer allegedly submitted false information to the BC Provincial Nominee Program for JR's application, which provides accelerated immigration for foreign workers who plan to live in the province permanently. Then they also discovered Vanessa's employer allegedly violated her work permit and the temporary foreign worker policy when they had her work at various locations in Vancouver Island and the Lower Mainland.
They have misled us and gave us some false information. And of course, you have given all the trust to them, but yeah, unfortunately, it turned out so bad.
All these coming up. At a news conference, they told that their application said Vanessa worked at Burger King in Richmond and that JR worked in Surrey. As a result, JR's Provincial Nominee Program application was denied and they may soon have to leave Canada because their work permits have expired. But when they both leave, they are not allowed to come back to Canada for 4 years.
JR and Vanessa first traveled from the Philippines to work in Hong Kong as migrant workers, as breadwinners for their family. The plan was to come to Canada to apply and become permanent residents. JR came directly from Hong Kong to Alberta, and then Vanessa traveled from the Philippines and came to Victoria on Vancouver Island. JR and Vanessa followed all the rules. They did everything they were supposed to do. They worked hard in here in Canada, and JR worked 3 jobs to meet the requirements to be eligible to sponsor his family under the BC Provincial Nominee Program. They submitted their application with the immigration consultant. The consultant charged them usually $15,000 to fill out their application. The application was filled out incorrectly. There was the wrong employment work site was listed, so they followed all the rules. It was the immigration consultant and also the employer who has violated many aspects of the temporary foreign worker program, as well as violating the contract that broke the rules. And it is now Vanessa and JR who are paying the consequences and have really suffered throughout this ordeal. They've really gone through hardship, difficulty, faced intimidation from the employer. They've been scared to speak out, and I really recognize and want to really mark their courage in coming forward with their difficult story.
Migrante BC spokesperson Jane Ordinario said that JR and Vanessa's experience sounds all too common.
Peralta and Tamondong deserve redress for what has been done to them by their employer, an immigration consultant, and that redress is for them to be allowed to stay and be allowed to apply for permanent residency. They should be supported, not deported. Migrant workers should not be used, abused, and dispose. Canadian government should not support cheap labor and disposable labor. Temporary foreign workers should be allowed landed immigrant status upon arrival.
There are thousands of workers right now that are being deported despite working and living in Canada for many years. The employers are facing tougher new policies to make it more difficult to hire temporary foreign workers in order to give a much higher priority to Canadians for jobs. MLA for Vancouver Kensington, Mabel Elmer, believes the family is the victim of gaps in provincial legislation and the flawed temporary foreign worker policy and immigration program.
They are in this situation today partly because of not only the employer and the immigration consultant taking advantage of them, but also a failed temporary foreign worker program that's based on temporary status and not a permanent model of immigration. And as well, they're failed by the BC Liberal government failing to put in place safeguards to ensure that employers and immigration consultants are monitored, that they are investigations, and that the laws in British Columbia are upheld. There have been other cases as well, complaints put forward against these companies, but still we see real impunity in British Columbia for a lack of basic laws being upheld, and they are caught in this situation. So there has been an investigation launched by the Canada Border Services Agency. We also have appeals into the CIC, and I'm also asking the Minister of Labour to intervene in light of the unfair situation that they're caught in and allow them to apply for permanent residency, which they have been entitled and are victims of unscrupulous employer and immigration consultants. So this is my request to our Provincial Minister of Labour, and considering their circumstances, that they've worked hard, they've followed all the rules, and they are the victims of this immigration consultant, this employer, and also this very unfair temporary foreign worker program.
A lot of times, temporary workers are vulnerable to exploitation by their employers and discouraged by others to talk about their situations. We admire JR and Vanessa for being courageous to speak out and report their unfortunate situation.
I do have a work permit that is here in mainland, and so last June we came here in Richmond, we moved here, and then my husband also is obtaining an open work permit. We have got the open work permit when they have misled us and gave us some false information, and of course you have given all the trust to them, but yeah, unfortunately it turned out so bad. I have asked my employer if it's okay to work in a location that is not stated in your work permit. But of course, I have trusted him because it's okay, because he owns the same company and he's allowed to transfer employees just for as long as it's under his jurisdiction. So with all those trusts that I have given him, I have believed him. And now we're like out of status right now. We don't have work permits, and we've been out of work for 3 months, and we are just surviving because through the kindness of other people, communities, and friends, so we are able to stay here. Survive. So right now we're just hoping to stay here. Hoping to stay, yeah.
And to raise our
child here. And given the chance to be a permanent resident here, so our son could have a better life here. Because back home, as you know, Philippines is so hard. That's why A lot of
Yes, there's
and we've been out of work for 3 months.
What would it mean for you and your family and your boy to stay in Canada?
Mr. I think we have a good future here, sir, and also for our son. And because if we can go back home, it's very hard to come back here again because of this program happening and overhauling. And we want our son to be here and grow here and watch the culture because we have a different culture in Philippines in here. Healthcare like a caregiver like that. And our plan is we can get our.
If I'm shocked by the amount, $15,000 to request to process permanent residency under the provincial nominee program. Even that is an exorbitant amount, and I've heard a lot of cases and worked with many.
But for us, it only shows how desperate these temporary foreign workers are desperate to stay, that are willing to pay all these high fees just for them to stay. And for the consultant, immigration consultant, they see this as a bait for the temporary foreign workers, and especially for the migrant workers who are coming in are Filipinos, and they're being just abused by their employer. Will be implemented because it was announced in June 2011 that temporary foreign workers can only stay up to 4 years in Canada if they're not able to apply for their landed status.
Very, they're very vulnerable to immigration consultants who make a lot of promises and who will take their money. I'm getting calls right out from Alberta from people who are desperate to stay, and these are the conditions where they're very open to abuse and paying high fees to have the option to stay. So it's a big problem, and we're going to hit the 4-year, it's a 4-year threshold. So the federal government, Conservatives, announced the 4-year maximum stay for temporary foreign workers. So that hits in April 2015, and we will start to see all those temporary foreign workers maxing out their 4 years, and waves of deportations. There's going to be increasing temporary foreign workers paying exorbitant fees to try and stay, and also we expect that people will be going underground to work illegally because they're desperate, and we will see in Canada an underclass of, now we have an underclass of 500,000 temporary foreign workers in our country without access to basic rights, and we are going to see the deepening social divisions around this failed guest worker program that has failed in Europe, and Canada's following suit. So I think as Canadians we need to ask ourselves what our values we need to reflect. When did we come to Canada? We are all immigrants. The Indigenous people are the first inhabitants, and either if we've come recently or our parents or our grandparents, we have to reflect on what does that mean, being immigrants to this country, and how we build our country and what we stand for.
Both JR and Vanessa are main breadwinners of their respective families back in the Philippines. JR even worked long hours, 3 jobs at one point to earn enough for his family. Do you feel that you are being exploited while working here in Canada? Do you feel that you are being exploited?
Because of this program, that's I'm trying to get the rules. That's why I work 3 jobs. That's why I can.
Oh my.
But unfortunately, we've been misled by the hard work that I make. And not happy.
Hey, darling.
Up next is our interview with JR and Vanessa. Stay with us. Hi Vanessa, hi Honorato. Oh, how are you feeling today? A lot of media are giving you so much love.
Yeah, feeling overwhelmed but at the same time feeling worried also because of our situation.
Honorato?
In our security right now, but we might, I don't know what's gonna happen with us after we go to the media right now. That's why we're very scared right now.
You're scared. Why are you scared?
Because our employer is like it's a big company like that, so that's why we don't know what can they do with us like that.
Oh.
Oh.
You're scared of your employer?
Yeah, right now.
Right now? You're scared. What do you say to your employer right now?
Right now, I hope just follow the rules and be kind to our TFW workers for his franchise.
Yes. What's the name of your employer?
Rick Dillon.
I also stopped working for him already at the end of September. So we're actually out of work for 3 months now. And our status right now is under a restoration period. And if we don't have anything to restore as a worker, then we might face deportation.
Do you feel that not enough justice has been done?
Yeah, I think so because we've been working hard for the last 5 years. Been working hard and tried to follow all the rules. So and then try to comply all the requirements so you would be able to obtain a permanent residency here. And so my feelings about that would be, yeah, I would feel very bad, and it would be injustice if we just go home, pack our bags, and did nothing. But for myself, I know I have done all my best, and then to be able to stay here in Canada and to be a permanent resident in the near future. So yeah.
It's very hard for me because if we're gonna come back again, we're gonna start all over again. Then we need to loan again. Then accumulate, there's a debt coming.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's debt over debt over debt and over debt. Oh my goodness.
Being a temporary Filipino foreign worker, is very hard here in Canada because everyone of us has a dream of becoming a permanent resident. But because of that vision that we have to also make sure that we entrust our faith, and of course giving your trust to a person that is, you should give your trust to a rightful person, and then make sure you are knowledgeable with all the rules, policies, and laws, so you wouldn't be caught up with this kind of people like trying to promise you that they will help you out, but unfortunately just putting you into a different stream, or a darker path, instead of you being a permanent resident, a different pathway.
Do you think that your case right now and your problems right now will pave way to a lot of changes in the system?
I think it will have changes, especially when like the Tim Hortons, Fernie, then other TFWs, and now we're here. We are next. We're an eye opener for everyone.
So we're trying to empower all the other temporary foreign workers to come out like right away. If you are in doubt and you are not sure of what's going on with the processing of your papers and everything, I think it's about time that we step in right away.
Yes, yeah, it's the right time, yeah, to come forward, and we could also hear your stories. And yeah, one thing that I have learned, of course, is you should always know the laws and the policy, so you wouldn't be you wouldn't be in a misled or misrepresented, because this wrong decisions may turn your life into miserable.
Yeah. Oh, well, Guys, I know you've been tired, and good luck. Hopefully that you both of you get to stay with your 2-year-old.
2-year-old son, JC, a very energetic child of mine.
Yes, terrible twos. He's so cute, but he knows he's cute.
I think so. Thank you for that.
So we're hoping for tomorrow.
Yeah, hoping for tomorrow that we can stay here and
Yes.
have a permanent residency in the future, citizenship. Yeah, because we want to stay here, and because we have a great future. I think we have a great future here in Canada, and we built this dream with my wife to come here. I hope we can achieve it. Thank you.
With your help, Honorato, JC, and Vanessa will be able to achieve it. Happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you. Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year. Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Wow. Okay. Rock with Martina at the Crescent Legion in Surrey, BC. On Saturday, February 7th, showtime at 8 p.m. Tickets at brownpapertickets.com or call 1-800-838-3006. Okay. Watch the Luisa Marshall Band at Lulu's Lounge, River Rock Casino, Friday, February 13th and Saturday, February 14th. Showtime at 9 p.m. No cover charge. Facing uncertainty, no jobs, and the possible deportation, JR and Vanessa didn't give up. We got the good news that weeks ago that they were able to get a 1-year working permit. Hopefully, they will be able to apply for permanent residency to pursue the Canadian dream. If you know of any temporary foreign worker that is being abused and exploited, please call us at 604-288-7664 or email us at info@luisamarshall.com. Please don't drink and drive. Don't text and drive. Always be kind. Let's stop cyberbullying. See you next week. Bye-bye. Honorato Peralta, Vanessa Tamundong, Vanessa Tamundong, Vanessa Tamundong, Vanessa Tamundong,